Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast as well as my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Today is Tuesday, which is July the 23rd. And so in this podcast as well as YouTube channel, go over topics involving the paranormal, occult, supernatural, spirituality. So I consider myself to be a gypsy, nomad, psychic light, intuitive, spiritualist, magic mind medium, self-proclaimed parapsychologist. I like to stress that this is not a biblical nor religious podcast, although I may bring up the biblical text. I cannot argue, the biblical text or Bible with anyone, okay? This is my spiritual sense. So I am going to proceed with doing a tarot card reading, which I refer to them as spiritual readings. I also like to mention that this podcast and YouTube is for entertainment, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. It just depends on which podcast or what episode you may listen to. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to proceed with the reading. We're starting with the life reading first. So I'm going to do a prayer and meditate a little bit so I can pick the cards accordingly. Father, Supreme Being of all being, thank you for waking me, family, and friends alike up this morning to see another day. Continue to bless us and shield us from any injury, harm, or danger. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, as it is said. It is so. I declare it and I decree. I want to pay homage to Bash, Shemaiah, Shango, Osiris, Ma'at, Ogun, and Oshun. These are deities you could call upon in times of trouble for infinite wisdom, knowledge, capability, and understanding. So let me proceed. I'm going to do a 3-card, and I'm not going to make this long, maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Okay, so I got my cards. Let me do a re-scramble. Since it tells me I need to do a re-scramble, that's one re-scramble, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so card 1, card 2, card 3. Okay, so the cards, as you can see the cards, the first card I have here is Power. The Power card has the number 4 there, which mentions comfort, stability, and determination. The next card I have here is Princess of Cups. Cups relates to feelings, emotions, creativity, relationship, intuition, and compassion. I have the costume designer here. And I also have Strength card, Strength, as mentioned here. So I do believe that this is in relation to Satan and the power that he thinks he could take over on you. It is like a theatrics, if that makes any sense. So I do feel as though you're going through some dramas right now, negative energies right now, and all they know how to do is bump their guns. But when it comes to putting any power into what it is, you got to call Satan for what it is. He's a liar, liar. Okay? The next card I have here is the past life card. Past life. All right, so we're going to pull out the cards. We got 1, 2, and 3. The next card I have here, let's pull it out. I honestly feel as though this power that you have may be coming from your mother or mother-like figure. I believe there's a disconnect. Something lets me know there's a disconnect or what have you. There's no belief in this existence is what it lets me know. And perhaps you are a mother and you feel a disconnect or not sharing a commonality with this existence. if that makes any sense to anybody. The next card I got here is arts. I think your strength comes by way of how you think, because something lets me know you're a free thinker, you think outside the box, and that may not be good in many settings, okay? Some people are not, as I mentioned before, are not that receptive to your individuality. It's just that simple. They'll sit here and make it seem like they have an interest and concern. They don't. Okay? Now the next card, I'm going to get the love card out here. Love. Let's get the love card. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we have something lets me know. I have a love call here card. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. I honestly feel as though this, when I get the Grand Reaper, it's death, a death angel, is what I feel. I think death is, the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. I think in this instance is death. I think it's a lot of reminiscent coming, surrounding this situation is what it lets me know. Outdated thinking, when you continue to replay things over and over and over again in your head, I think that's a death call, and I'll be honest about it. We're saying love. This person wants to let you know that there is love there, but ultimately that is a death call. Plain and simple. Now the next card I have here is thoughts, faith, and belief. So let's get a little bit about thoughts, faith, and belief. Thoughts, faith, and belief. Thoughts, faith, and belief. We have, I'm going to pull those two and let's pull this one. Ultimately, I think that's what it is. It's a death call. And oftentimes you'll find that when people are battling, like when they have made peace and they realize that it's about to occur, it's very unsettling. So you may and you can presumptively or intuitively pick up on that energy. You can. I have the Chariot card. Now we know Chariot cards, travel, control, action, willpower, and determination. I think the key word here is action and willpower and control. I feel as though that there's some struggles in terms of how it's like a battle between the wrongs and the rights. Like you're reflecting back on your life, because I have the outdated thinking. You're reflecting, replaying in your head back on things that transpired in moments and times in your history, the goods and versus the bad, rights versus wrong. Should I did things this way versus that way? And that's what's constantly plaguing in your head. Is what I show with this outdated thinking cassette card here. The next one I have here is 8 of Cups, action, success, recognition. Cups has a lot to do with feelings and emotion, creativity, relationship, intuition, and compassion. So I honestly feel as though you turned your back, like you turn your back on a lot of people, and now it's all coming to the forefront now, if that makes any sense. Like I have done some things in the past. I wasn't there for many people, and you know, when people are standing there helping hand, I wasn't a helping hand for them. And now it's all coming to. So I feel as though this reading is in relation to somebody who is facing death. I honestly would want to say that. And a Hierophant card here. The Hierophant card mentions about give me just a moment. Let me see. Spiritual wisdom, leadership, tradition, and institution. So I think you begin to get a higher sensibility, despite of what common folk would get. God has given you that synopsis. That's what I feel. Now, what is your life purpose card? Well, we're gonna go with this one. Infinite abundance. So I honestly feel as though this knowledge is infinite knowledge that has been bestowed upon you. And I think this infinite abundance is actually knowledge, is wisdom. By way of the Hierophant card that shows up here, it says you are fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. So I honestly feel as though God is honing your spirit. I mean, I think this is in relation to people who may be at that close to transition, but I want to also include those who are able to see it, who is able to like see it in the spiritual sense, what that is. Okay, so what is the healing oracle? Well, death is a sensitive subject. It's very sensitive. I mean, it's we don't want to make light of death. We want to make sure we are prepared, but we don't want to be afraid, of course, but we want to embrace it and prepare ourselves and educate ourselves about the stigma surrounding death. Okay. All right, it says everything turns to light. So I honestly feel as though, again, this infinite abundance is God showing you the sensibility of everything. He's putting things into perspective for you. It says, I work to improve myself, embrace all that life brings to me, and transform darkness into light. I allow myself to grow and become stronger. And I do believe that. I do believe that God does give us a sensibility. This is the key factor here. You know, he does give us heightened sensibilities. He does. So let's get some family history. Let's get some family history in regards to this reading. And we're going to bring this reading to a close within the next 5 minutes or so. I said this wasn't going to be a very long reading. I've done pretty much, I went through all of the cards. And I just have the angel cards and my soul truth card. And then I bring this to a close. All right, so we're going to go with this card here. And let's see what source or spirit is mentioning in terms of what is on the other side. So we have Egyptian Tarot. By way of your family, we pulled the Queen of Wands, which is the cover of the Egyptian Tarot, the significance of it. Well, we know Wands relates to willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. So again, I think that the call is you know, it's a love call to make you a parent about death. I honestly feel as though death is imminent, and I'm not trying to, you know, be negative. We want to be positive. We want to embrace certain things. That's just a part of life. You got to take the good with the bad, and I do believe that is essentially what that is. It's a very touchy, very sensitive subject. Most people don't want to hear anything about death because it's very troubling. You know, it's very it's a very touchy subject, and it's a lot of times people shy away from it. You know, they don't want to hear about it. It brings about a lot of emotions. Sometimes it brings out negative emotions. So oftentimes people would kind of just, you know, as I mentioned, shy away from it, if that makes any sense. All right, so we're going to go to the Queen of Wands, because this is what this card is. So it says the Lady of the Sciences. The Lady of the Sciences is what it mentions. A noble woman decorated with the royal symbols raises her hand in greeting. So who is this noble woman, the Lady of the Sciences? Well, ultimately, I believe it's could be a doctor, physician, or whomever. But I do believe that there is a energy force, life force over this situation to enlighten you about it is to come. The positive mentions intense friendships with a mature woman or one's mother. So again, could this very well be death of a mother or mother-like figure? Faithfulness, honesty, cordiality. Okay, this is what comes towards this person. I have negative oppositions, jealousy, loss of a friendship, unhappy marriage, frustrating union. And I think this energy is picking up on the sensibility when there is a death call from the other side, ultimately. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's pull out the angel cards. So what does the angel cards mentions here? What does the angel cards mention? What do we have in terms of the angel cards? Well, it says nurture. So I do feel as though your mother was very nurturing, has a very nurturing sensibility. This mentions Archangel Gabriel. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So I believe that your mother, as she nurtured you, the angels will be summoned to nurture her, to guide her through this process, because I do feel as though I'm speaking to someone who's able to see it and perhaps even experience it after death, if that makes any sense. All right, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to get your soul truth, and we're going to bring this to a close. All right, so what do we want to pick? I'm going to go with this one. So it mentions, what excuses am I making right now? I honestly feel as though death is a process. Death is a process. It's not an easy thing to talk about, as I mentioned. It's not an easy thing to discuss or even, it's not easy. And I think oftentimes you'll have people recount things or situations in their head or whatever the case may be of things that may have transpired in their life, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and then they want to come with a lot of bargain, excuses, and things of that nature. So trust and believe that this is the normal process of death and dying. Feeling the need to bargain, feeling the need to want to prove oneself and vindicate oneself, because it's a very unsettling thing death can be. It's very unsettling. Very, very unsettling. We all will have to die at one form or fashion, but I think the strongest will survive. And oftentimes when a person feels like it is imminent or on them, it will cause them to act behavioral wise intolerable, to say the least, if they haven't come to terms with it and they don't understand it. So it mentions no more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. Today's soul's action. if it's important enough to you, you will find a way. Today, make a decision and do it even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart and you will be led. And I do believe that. I do believe you can guide a person who may be experiencing some behaviors or some apprehension about it, but that's essentially what it is. So I am going to conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense, spiritual reading. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good afternoon.